Hey guys, welcome back to L&D Home. In today's video, we are on our final part of this pool installation in our summer backyard makeover. And boy, did we learn a lot, and do we have a lot to share. But first, a trip to Lowe's.
Just get a bunch of pool noodles and put them together. And I want to see if they have that down here. I'm not trying to go back that one again.
We can go back the back way. I embarrassed him. They were having a team meeting at Lowe's. He said, raise your hand. This is for something about $200 in the store every day. So I raised my hand. I don't work here. If you haven't seen our previous video, it will be linked in the description box below where we started this project. But we are going to be finishing up this project in today's video, and that means more tilling. So I didn't want to bore you with too much tilling since we did so much in the last video, but we still had a lot of uneven ground and a lot of grass to get out. So yes, we are still tilling.
You are my pill, I swallow it. Take me away to Neverland, where colors fade my disbelief and make me forget my memories. Rent a car you can't afford, put on a song that we both know. Let your hair out in the wind, put the pedal to the floor.
We thought we were going to be able to use the same board trick that we started using in last video, but you'll see later that that didn't really go according to plan. And yeah, he's still tilling. We're still going at it. I'm also going to be pulling out the Grandpa's Weed Eater that I got off of Amazon. I will have it linked down below for you. It's not an affiliate link because it's an Amazon product, but it will be linked in the description box because we just had so many pieces of grass that the tiller was not getting that I thought while he worked on that part that I could just pull out some of those clumps with the Grandpa's Weeder.
Put your broken rip-off wafers on. Doesn't matter if the sun goes down. We'll still be up, still be up. Don't care about the place we found. We'll still be up, still be up. We're in this together. We both fall down. Doesn't matter if the sun goes up, 'cause we will still be high when the lights out.
Pieces holding the board completely snapped. So we had to drill a hole through the board and try it that way. And yes, that is still the weight that we have clamped onto the board. We don't have the proper tools at all, but we're just working with what we have. And we're trying to get the ground as level as possible. This is really, really important. Trust us. It's very, very important that you get the ground as level as you possibly can. So here I am just putting some weight on this side of the board so it doesn't pop up, and we are just trying to get it as level as possible.
We can pretend that time is still, stay in the daydream, chase the thrill, make up the way as we go, live for the moment, lose control. Rent a car you can't afford, put on a song that we both know. Let your hair out in the wind, put the pedal to the floor, flame your lighter, take a smoke. Put your broken rip-off wafers on. Doesn't matter if the sun goes down. We'll still be up, still be up. Don't care about the place we found. We'll still be up, still be up. We're in this together. We both fall down. Doesn't matter if the sun goes up.
We were definitely running out of steam at this point. So a suggestion that I have when you're doing a big project like this, if you start to run out of steam, take a break. Because you could make some really bad choices and some mistakes and rush things. Wink, wink. Hint, hint. So if you are in a really big project and you are getting worn out, just take a step back from it and take a moment. So right now he is just tilling because we were absolutely exhausted and we were ready to get this pool up and swim in it. So just heed my warning, take a break during a project when you feel yourself rushing the process and making bad decisions.
Still be high when the lights out.
We were trying to be budget friendly on this project, so we got these 2 rolls. I believe these were from Lowe's, maybe. I think Lowe's. I will have everything linked down below that I possibly can, but we got these 2 rolls of like barrier. They're like a level 2 barrier, and I think, yes, they were from Lowe's, so check the description box. And we are also going to be using 2 tarps because what we were originally going to use was, bug right in my ear. Oh, I hate outside, I swear. What we were originally going to use was just way too expensive. So we decided to just go with 2 tarps because that was way cheaper and it's about as thick as what we were going to use anyway. But we want to create a good barrier because we had such grass problems in this area. We don't want anything popping up and going into the bottom of the pool. So we wanted to make sure we had a really good barrier underneath. So we doubled up.
'Cause we will still be high when the lights out. Be high with the lights out.
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven. I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never would.
Right now, I am just cutting out those little metal rings that come on the tarps that are going to be on the inside, like underneath the pool, so it doesn't like poke through or anything. Just cutting a triangle little piece out, just so there's nothing like stabbing into the bottom of the pool. And then it was time to lay the pavers. Why I thought it was a good idea to carry 1 paver at a time, I don't know, because that's what I started doing until I remembered, hey, I have this wagon. Why not use that? And this wagon is actually like a family heirloom, I guess. My grandpa and my uncle actually used to ride me around in this wagon when I was a kid. So we don't ride our kid around in it, either of our children, because, well, they're too big to be riding in a wagon. But we do use it for lots of different projects and stuff. So I hope they are, looking down on me and saying, hey, she's got a really great house here and she's using this wagon. That's awesome. And it makes it much easier to carry large loads of things. So I just had like a smiley moment during this process when I was using the wagon, and I just remembered my grandpa and my uncle because they are both passed, and I just miss them very dearly. So I was just having a little emotional moment here as I was wheeling this wagon around and delivering the pavers to my husband.
'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's so strong. It goes on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. I've met my demons one too many times. They taught me lows are
We were going to go completely around in a circle, but we decided to make kind of a teardrop shape because he wanted the pool pump to actually be enclosed, like in the gravel and everything. He just thought it was a little bit safer. So we did have to level the ground out a little bit more in this area because we weren't actually going to be putting pavers or anything here. And that worked really well for us to make this teardrop shape so the pump could be in the gravel right next to the pool where it needed to be, and it wasn't like, sitting on like a piece of wood or something, which they do give you in the kit. They give you like a piece of wood to sit the pump on, but we didn't think that was going to be too safe for the elements, so we decided to do this instead.
so high. No matter how far my mind would wander, I'd always dare it.
I'm just going to be cutting all of the tarp and the underlayment from around the bricks on the outside, and you want a very sharp X-Acto knife when you do this. I actually had to switch my blade because my blade was dull and it was not cutting. So as long as you have a really sharp, fresh blade, this is really easy peasy. It took me a few minutes to cut both layers from around the entire barrier. This thing is so incredibly heavy. If I can link it down below, I will. It is from CM, so you have to have like a Sam's membership to get this deal. But it is a really awesome deal if you have a Sam's membership. And last time I checked, they did still have some online. I'm not sure if they're sold out when you're watching this, but I will link it down below so that you can check it. We decided to make a pile of legs and then a pile of the side pieces, just so as we worked, we had everything kind of separated and we can just go to that pile and grab. Because like I said, we were getting so exhausted at this point. Like, yes, this is the next day, but like our bodies and our minds were still hurting from the day before. I believe it, yeah. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. This pool liner is so much heavier than it looks. It feels like it weighs an absolute ton. So we did our best to get it centered. And then we decided to skip every other. So we put like 2 of the sides in, clamped them with the little T-bracket, and then we skipped one. We just felt like this worked better for us to kind of be able to maneuver the pool. And we did the same thing with the legs. We put a leg on and then we skipped a leg. Then we put the next leg on and then we skipped a leg. And that just worked the best for us to kind of keep everything nice and even. And it made it a little bit easier to kind of work with the tarp, considering it was so incredibly heavy. So that's just a tip that we learned along the way. So if you are installing a pool, hopefully that will help you out a little bit. I can feel it. I feel it. Oh, 'cause I can feel the energy. I told myself that maybe he ain't worth it. Too bad I hate advice. 'Cause out of sight and out of mind is perfect. It's so hard to decide. Oh, I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I'm just a treat. Well, the taste is bitter. What's more difficult than installing the pool and putting it together? Putting together the ladder. Literally, this was harder than putting the pool together. The instructions made no sense whatsoever. And the little pieces that like snap into the steps that you actually step on, you have to push at the exact same time. Like you can't have someone pushing down one side more than the other. It just was not working. So I suggest a rubber mallet. That actually came in super handy for us because it was just not going well. So definitely have yourself a rubber mallet on hand if you're going to be putting a pool ladder together, because this was an absolute mess. I feel like it took forever to put this thing together, and it was way more difficult than putting the actual pool together. Oh, go on, chewing my bones out when he's done spitting me out. I just can't help myself. One for the pain, no hesitation. Took us again, nothing can save us. Yeah, I just wanna be around you. Can you tell I'm ready to swim? He was not really impressed by my shenanigans because we were exhausted. But right now I'm just taking my feet and I'm trying to spread out some of the larger wrinkles in the bottom of the pool, because we didn't want it to be too wrinkled and cause any like rips or tears over time. So my legs got tired and I didn't really think I was doing such a great job. So he stepped in and tried to help out a little bit as well. Three for the night, all in or nothing, not gonna stop, dance till the morning.
While the pool was filling up, I grabbed this command hook. It's for a broom, actually, and I got it from Target. I'll have one linked down below from somewhere. It's not for outdoor use, but it hasn't fallen down yet. So I don't know what to say about that, but we have the giant pool skimmer, so I had to have a place to put that. And in the tote is just all the pool accessories and chlorine and everything. And no, it doesn't look cute, but it's what we could afford. We also went to a little farmer's market down the street, and we bought some citronella and some mint, I believe, just to kind of place around the pool and around the patio as like a natural mosquito repellent. And I am terrible at keeping plants alive. I have said that on this channel before. They're not looking great, guys. They're really not looking great, and I'm watering them like crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. But fingers crossed for me that I can keep these plants alive. I don't have faith in myself. I really don't. I do not have a green thumb. Next up is going to be the installation of the pump. And it was so exciting to see the water go in here. Like, it was so hot outside and the water just looked so incredibly refreshing. And my husband David said the pump actually was not too difficult to put together, and he was able to get it done rather quickly.
He looks at me like I know what he's thinking, but I don't have a clue. True talent in avoiding conversation, yeah, it's almost rather cruel. Oh, I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I'm just a treat. Well, the taste is bitter. Oh, go on, showing my bones, and when he's done, he's spitting me out. I just can't help myself. One for the pain, no hesitation. Took us again, nothing can save us.
The lighting is horrible, but I'm just putting rocks around the entire pool. And I'm only going to show you like 2 seconds of it because I was absolutely worn out. But it looked really, really beautiful. It took me forever, but it looked really beautiful. And here we go. Here we have the final reveal of our pool installation. Just kidding. The whole thing is not level. Completely not level. So 1 week later, here we are.
All right, so I'm at Menards right now with all these random pavers because our pool is not level. And we toyed with taking the whole thing down, leaving it up. We went back and forth. We decided that we're going to try to jack it up and level it a little bit. So we are letting out about a fourth to a half of the water. And then we're going to try some pavers. So I got different heights because we're going to have to kind of crescendo. I know that's a musical term, but gradient, I don't know, around the area that's not level.
So when I say my biggest tip is to take your time and make sure that your ground is level, that is legit my biggest tip for installing a pool. Do not rush the process. We're going to have to take all of the rocks out around. So the easiest way I found that was the least back-breaking way was to use one of these pavers to hold this giant dustpan, which I got from Dollar Tree. We already had it. And I'm just like sweeping the rocks in there. And then I'm taking it over and I'm dumping it. This is actually a grill cover for a grill that we never use. So we're going to put as many rocks in there as we can. So I spent an entire day taking rocks out, an entire day, back and forth, going inside and out because it was so incredibly hot. So this is actually the next day after the day I took all the rocks out, and we are jacking up the pool. So we actually saw this on YouTube, and we were a little bit worried about it at first, but we let about half, if not more, of the water out so it wasn't so heavy. Yes, our water bill is going to be dumb expensive, but it's just going to be is what it is at this point. We didn't want to start all over. So we're just using different various pavers that I had picked up from Menards in the previous clip, according to how much we need that particular side lifted. And I got to tell you, this took forever. Less time than taking the whole thing apart, but forever. Just level the ground correctly the first time, guys. I swear, like, this is a really cool trick if you're having problems. But we're going to have to take this entire pool down now at the end of the season, which we were not going to do. We were going to winterize it. Everything was going to be great. But now we have to take the whole thing down and re-level the ground the appropriate way next year and put the whole thing back up again. So we made so much more work for ourselves just trying to rush the process and getting really exhausted. So Just make sure that you are taking your time with something as serious as this, because this is a lot of water. And if this thing would have snapped or broke, we would have been in some serious trouble, and so would our neighbors, because it would have flooded their entire yards. There is so much water in here, guys. So just take your time when you're installing a pool, and don't be like us. So if you learn anything from this video, it is to do the opposite of what we did when we put the pool together. So, you know, I hope we helped you out a little bit.
I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be free for the night, all in or nothing, not gonna stop, dance till the morning light. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be around you.
So we were finally coming towards the end of this very long project that took a lot longer than we thought it was going to take. So I am now dumping back in all the rocks that I had to sweep out so we could jack up the pool. So yes, 16 bags of rocks, putting them back in. We definitely need to get a little bit more, so you're going to be able to see the pavers a little bit in one of the next clips. But we decided to kind of leave those bare just in case the pool needed to like have the legs kicked out a little bit for some relief. So we didn't really want to cover the pavers and have to deal with the rocks there. But it is feeling good to get this back together.
Share my lipstick, taste my breath, and love me like you love a pack of smokes in the morning. Share my
Here's what those different pavers are looking like. Again, we left them uncovered in case we needed to do any adjustments. You are also going to see in the final reveal that there's still a little bit of a lean to the pool, but we are within like the recommended amount of difference that you are supposed to have. So without further ado, let's take a look at the actual final reveal. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it looks so amazing out here. We have already been in here and enjoying it, and it is going to be absolutely fabulous. So lots of hard work for sure, and do it right the first time, wink, wink, but we are absolutely in love with how this turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please make sure you check out the video and the playlist that will be popping up on the screen soon. And as always, make sure you smash that subscribe button so you can become part of our YouTube family. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
lipstick, taste my breath, and love me like you love a